Faster my good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. And tonight's show starts with a classic from Joni Mitchell from her album Blue. This is California.
Sitting in a park in Paris, France, reading the news and it sure looks bad. They won't give peace a chance. That was just a dream some of us had. Still a lot of lands to see, but I wouldn't want to stay here. It's too old and cold and settled in its ways here. Oh, but California, California, coming home. I'm gonna see the folks I dig. I'll even kiss a sunset pig. California, I'm coming home. I met a redneck on a Grecian Isle who did the goat dance very well. He gave me back my smile, but he kept my camera in a cell. Oh, the rogue, the red rogue. He cooked good omelettes and stews, and I might have stayed on with him there, but my heart cried out for you. California, oh, California, coming home. Oh, make me feel good, rock and roll band. I'm your biggest fan. California, I'm coming home. When you're walking and the streets are full of strangers, all the news on you read just give you the blues, just give you the blues. So I bought me a ticket, I caught a plane to Spain, went to a party down a red dirt road. There were lots of pretty people there, reading Rolling Stone, reading Vogue. They said, how long can you hang around? I said, a week, maybe two, just until my skin turns brown. Then I'm going home to California, California, I'm coming home. Oh, will you take me as I am, strung out on another man? California, I'm coming home. Oh, it gets so lonely when you're walking and the streets are full of strangers. All the news at home you read more about the war and the bloody changes. Oh, will you take me as I am? Will you take me as I am? Will you take me as I am? Take me as I am. Will you take me as I am?
Well, I think I said last week that John Martyn's Solid Air was the finest record ever made, but Joni Mitchell's Blue from 1971 runs it pretty close, and I'm going to play another track from that, perhaps her finest song, at the end of this show. Also later in the show, I've got a chat with Katie Lawrence about her new tune book and her upcoming gig at Incruniac, and plenty more news about Incruniac as well, which is starting in less than a week's time. But first, Ross Miller is a bagpiper from Linlithgow in Scotland. This is a single he's released called the Restalrig Reels, and it's made up of 3 tunes, the Candlewood Sweets Reel, the Restalrig Road and Molly Rankins. A big sound there from Ross Miller. Something completely different now. A while ago I played you something by Alula Down. I'm going to play you something now from their new EP, which is called Here I Am, Where I Must Be. I'm a bit of a sucker for a song led by a double bass, and here's a great example.
The work is hard, the day is long. Come, masters all, and hear my song. A labor is but all in vain. Our wives and children we can't maintain. In 1852, you broke a strike, our union too, and now machines rule this fair land. They are the curse of the poor laboring man. The work is hard, the day is long. Come, masters all, and hear my song. Our labor is but all in vain. Our wives and children we can't maintain.
Back to Scotland now for some tunes from Ian MacDonald and Ian Macfarlane. Ian MacDonald is ex-Battlefield Band and Ossian, the youngest brother of a famous piping family from Glenuig. And Ian Macfarlane plays in Blazing Fiddles and was brought up in Glenfinnan. So some fine Highland music here. This is The Steamboat and Thomond Bridge. Some great hornpipes there from Ian MacDonald and Ian McFarlane from an album called First Harvest that was released in 2005. Now, about 3 weeks ago, after enjoying a fine breakfast at Noah Bakehouse in town, the relevance of that comment will be revealed very soon, I sat down with Katie Lawrence to talk about her new tune book and a concert that's coming up as part of Incrunyak. Let's listen to that conversation now. Right, now I've got Katie Lawrence coming to the studio on one of her busy lunchtimes to come and talk about two important things. First of all, a tune collection that she has created and a gig she's going to be playing later this month. So hi Katie, how are you doing? Not seen you for ages.
I'm not too bad, thanks. Doing okay. Been busy, but winding down to the end of term. So.
Absolutely, it's that July feeling. I vaguely remember it. Excellent. So as I said, the first thing we're going to talk about is you've got the Katie Lawrence Tune Collection book coming out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I've been threatening to release a collection of my tunes for a few years. I've been writing tunes since I was sort of like mid-teens for GCSE really, and I've got tons of tunes. I've got the sort of nearly 200, and I've been threatening to do a book collection of it for years, and people have been saying put them together, release a book. So that's basically what I'm doing. I finally managed to stop procrastinating long enough to get it together. So
that's great. So what? Who's helping you with this book? Is it published by?
Culture Van and Support. Yeah. So I've got a grant for support for that. Chloe's been really helpful. Bruce has been really helpful as well. Rachel Hare's been and Adam have been really helpful as well. Adam Rhodes.
Yeah.
Just with Rachel's just released a book of not long released a book of her arrangements as well. So she's kind of done it all. So
yeah,
it was handy to know because there's some stuff that she mentioned that I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. And then Adam's done a bit of graphics work on the front. Bruno's done the front cover.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
He's done an amazing job, Bruno Kavalek. So
yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing that. So tell us a bit about the tunes that are in it then.
So basically, it's in the book they're pretty much in chronological order. So right from mid-90s, from when the school folk group was happening. And
I remember that. Yeah. I probably taught you science at the time.
You probably did, year 8 or year 9 science, something like that. But right from kind of just after that sort of time, and then when we went to the Albert Hall and things like that, that's kind of around about the time when I started writing. And Direct, for example, which is my one-hit wonder, I call it. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, well-known tune.
But that's from sort of not long after I started writing tunes. So those tunes, some of them were written with a reason in mind, and then some of them I just wrote when I came in. Like sometimes I come in from the pub and noodle around on the piano and then see what happens. So some of them, there's a lot of wedding tunes in the book. I would say I'd say a good, I don't know, fifth to a quarter of the tunes in the book are wedding tunes. Just
really?
Because I don't know, I just have a fine line in writing them. So anybody's got a wedding coming up and wants me to write a tune, then give me a shout.
So are these wedding tunes that people have specifically asked you to do for them?
Some of them are, yeah. Some of them I wrote. Some of them asked me to write a tune. Some of them I just wrote them for gifts and gave them a printout, and I did a recording of it and things like that. But there's also tunes. There's all sorts of things. There's one about jellyfish in there. Just because I was on the beach and saw a load of jellyfish and wrote a tune about it. Some of them are like kind of end points, like when I finished my A-levels and just breathed a huge sigh of relief and then just thought, glad that's over with. Kind of like some of them are kind of serious and more emotional ones, and some of them are just daft reasons, and all sorts of different time signatures and like jigs and reels and quite a lot of waltzes and slow tunes.
Oh, right, excellent. So, yeah. And do you get to play many of these tunes yourself nowadays?
Not as much as I would like. So that's another reason for that. And it's so we're obviously doing the tunes ready for the gig as well in Incrunyak, which is, I think it was the 27th, isn't it? Saturday the 27th of July.
Yes, so, indeed. Let's talk about that one. So
we're getting the tune book is going to be launched at the gig, hopefully. It's all ready and set, and Neil at Words and Spaces is helping us out with that. But the plan is to perform some of the tunes at the gig. It was a bit of a struggle to pick which ones, but I've kind of narrowed it down a bit because it's only got half an hour. So, the plan is to
to perform a few of them.
So you've got a half-hour set
yep.
on the 27th,
Yeah.
which is also the night that the wonderful Duncan Chisholm and his band are playing.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool because he's actually one of the reasons listen to his Red Point album, which I think is the 90s. I feel like it's the late 90s, so that would have been.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's an amazing album. It's got some beautiful slow tunes on it. His album, and then also the Ali Bain and Phil Cunningham album, The Pearl. That's the first cassette I ever wrote, and I just remember hearing the tunes on it, thinking they're just beautiful. I'd love to write tunes like that. And then also Ian Hardy, but yeah, the Duncan Chisholm support slot, that'll be amazing because he's just like, it's a bit of I wouldn't say he was an idol, but just like he just plays in a way that just.
He's a very lyrical sort of player, isn't he? I've enjoyed his stuff. I picked him up round about the Strathfarrar album and those Afric and all about the Scottish Glens. Lovely tunes.
Well, I think is he live up around there, or he's kind of that's area?
I believe so. Loch Mulladock, I think his family are from.
Yeah. But the other album that I've worn it out that much, so I need to get another copy because it's like got a scratch on it because I've listened to it so much. The I can't say it. Coolin. Yeah. The Sky album. That's the most recent one, isn't it?
Very dramatic, isn't it?
Oh, the arrangements on it are they're incredible, and the people he's got playing on the album, and like the tunes, the melodies they're just like perfect for that kind of scenery. So,
but let's get back to the main point.
Oh yeah, that would help. Yeah, sorry, I could waffle all day about Duncan Chisholm, but
I mean, you've got your tune book, and you're playing tunes from your tune book with whom at that gig on the 27th.
Well, I thought I'd ask my sister. She's there. Kirsty. Is going to play cello and whistle. Then we'll have Jamie Smith on accordion, and Malcolm Stipp's going to play as well.
Brilliant.
And then also I've got a couple of pupils playing as well who play with Scran, the youth band that Dave Kilgallen runs. So Frank Jock and Jamie's son, and Fraser McKenna, which is Ali and Chris. So Ali, I've known for years through dancing and stuff. I quite like that because I've known Grania and Ali since for nearly 40 years, and now I'm teaching their kids. And I just thought it'd be really lovely. Fraser plays one of my tunes so beautifully. I just thought that's where almost like the set started for the gig, and I thought that was the initial tune, the first tune I picked.
I played quite a bit off that new Scran album, but I've never seen Fraser play, but I've seen Frank play a lot. He's fantastic.
Durek's probably on this, but that's the thing. I want people to realise that actually there's more. I've written more tunes than Durek. It just seems to be a tune that people hooked onto, and I just want people to hear the other ones as well. So.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Once we've had the gig, and that people will be able to get the tune book at the gig, hopefully, if everything's ready in time. Where will they be able to get it after that?
Well, the plan would be to get it round to kind of, like try and drop it into the museums, try and get it down to Bridge Bookshop. I haven't actually got that far yet. It's been about
Man in Music, I'm sure.
Yes, Man in Music as well. But the biggest thing was getting the actual book together in the first place. So, but yeah, the plan would be to get it around to where people would normally get their kind of CDs or collections from and things. So.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to that. Now, I see you brought your fiddle with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the original plan was some recordings, but they're not quite ready yet. So we're kind of like. I'll try one of my tunes. It's so this one is Andy and Jen's wedding tune. So Andy works at Noah now. I think Noah Bakehouse.
Oh, I know.
But
Andy,
he used to run the Royal.
He did.
I
was just talking to him this morning, actually.
Oh right, okay, yeah. And Jen I've known through. So it's a crowd of in Peel sort of, or around the friendship group called the Team Hangover, and we kind of used to get together before kids and marriage and stuff like that happened. But we used to have like sort of social nights and stuff, and now our main social occasion is the Viking longboat races.
All right.
So that's coming up, but this was for them. So
excellent. Let's hear that.
Okay.
That was absolutely brilliant. That was Katie Lawrence playing Andy and Jen's
Yeah,
wedding
Andy and
tune.
Jen's wedding tune.
Absolutely fantastic. Lovely music. Thank you, Katie. And good luck with the gig and, of course, with the Katie Lawrence tune book.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So Katie mentioned the Duncan Chisholm album Red Point, which I hadn't listened to before. It's from 1997. I've had a listen. I thought I'd play you something from it. This is Leaving Stowe. So that was Duncan Chisholm, who's playing at the Centenary Centre on Saturday the 27th of July as part of the Incrunic Festival. And also on that night, as we heard, is Katie Lawrence and friends. A night not to be missed. Also in Duncan Chisholm's band are two of the finest musicians from Scotland, Hamish Napier and Ross Ainsley. Hamish is a multi-instrumentalist and composer from the Scottish Highlands, and Ross is one of Scotland's finest traditional musicians and composers, highly sought after for his skills on pipes, whistles and cittern. So here's a tune from each of them. First of all, Forest Folk from Hamish Napier's album The Woods, and then Irish, which is from an album called Lass, released by Ross Ainsley, Bridget Campbell and Stephen Burns in 2022. fabulous music there from Ross Ainsley alongside Brucey Campbell and Stephen Burns, and before that from Hamish Napier, both of whom are appearing as part of Duncan Chisholm's band on the 27th of July as part of Incrunic at the Centenary Centre. And Incrunic starts next Monday with a Manx Food and Folk session at Noah Bakehouse at lunchtime, and then a concert with the wonderful Heisk, featuring our very own Isla Callister, supported by the equally wonderful Elizabeth Davison-Blythe and Daniel Quayle at the Centenary Centre that evening. There's so much wonderful music happening through the week I can't possibly list it all. If you want full details, go to incrunic.com. For some of you it might be useful for me to spell that out for you. That's YNCHRUINNAGHT. I mentioned quite a lot last week, but one more thing I thought I'd highlight today is the Cornish musician Richard Trethewey. He was born in Cornwall's Clay Country and is a singer, fiddler and cittern player, delivering his distinctive take on Cornish music, giving Cornwall a truly authentic voice. He's involved with a number of things, including the Celtic Seasons concert on Thursday the 25th and also Cornish Tunes Workshop earlier that day. From his album Two Halves, this is the Trethewey Mine.
Brother Joe, I write to you to tell you of our fate, from moving here to Canada and the fortune we could make. Father first found silver here, Fraser Valley by the lake, but silver there at Providence no more was ours to take. Written that the silver here, like stove lids in the ground, but stoves out here must be bigger, Joe, for it's more than that I found. Will and Joe were running to the show just to see where trouble can be found. With Sue and Sally all on their arms, they would dance the feast day round. Come out then, brother Joseph will, and leave the lakeside shore. The slabs of silver hidden here, the size of our barn door. The pinkish bloom upon the rocks, a wondrous sight to see. To tell you then what my heart felt, the feelings that came over me. Covered up as best I could the riches that I found, with moss and sticks and anything that lay there on the ground. Will and Joe were running to the show just to see where trouble can be found. With Sue and Sally all on their arms, they would dance the feast day round. Next day I went back to the woods to stake my claim for sure. My name and number marked the spot. The same day I found more of all the silver in the land, the richest to be seen. Just one day to change a man, the silver it found me. The stage is set for more to come, there's more for us to find. I'll see that there's a share for you, come out to Trethewey Mine. Will and Joe were running to the show just to see where trouble can be found. With Sue and Sally all on their arms, they will dance the feast day round. Will and Joe were running to the show just to see where trouble can be found. With Sue and Sally all on their arms, they would dance the feast day round.
Now back to music that's happening on the Isle of Man in the next few days before Incruniuk starts next week. On Wednesday night there'll be the trad session in O'Donnell's. On Thursday night there'll be the folk club in Ramsey, and there'll be a trad session in the Mitre in Ramsey on Friday night. There'll also be a Sunday afternoon session, which is at the Black Dog Oven in Peel between 1 and 4. But there's also lots of other roots music happening in the week. There's Blues Club on Wednesday night at the Railway, and I'm hoping to be there for the first time for ages. And on Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, there's the North Quay Jazz and Blues Festival. It's mostly blues in the afternoon and jazz in the evening. And that features the Big Wheel Blues Band, which will be me, Heinrich Kube, Tom Barker and Martin Thomas. The Heinrich Maneuver, et al., Mood Indigo, the Bus Pass Blues Band, Blue Vannin, Trevor Shimin, HanFX, Jaw DMC, and Neptunes. Lots of great music, and it's all free from 1 p.m. till 10:30 p.m, raising money for the RLNI in their 200th anniversary year. So I've not been out playing electric guitar for a very long time, so it'll be great. Come down and see if I can still do it. We're starting the day off at 1 o'clock. I think it's outside the British somewhere. One of my favourite blues songs, and one that I'll be singing, is Mother Earth by Memphis Slim, which unlike many blues songs, has fantastic lyrics. Let's hear it now. Wonderful stuff there, Memphis Slim. Well, there's so much great music, you've got to get out there and catch some of it live over the next few weeks. No excuses accepted. Do get in touch if you've got any more live music that's happening. folkshow@maxradio.com is how you email me. Whether you want to request a track or just say hi, that's absolutely fine. It'd be lovely to hear from you. I'll be back next week with more great folk and roots music from the Isle of Man from all around the world. In the meantime, here's that other track from Joni Mitchell's Blue. This is A Case of You. I'll see you next week.
Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, Where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. It tastes so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. Oh, I would still be on my feet. I am a lonely painter. I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, and I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, you said love is touching souls. Surely you touch mine, 'cause part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. It tastes so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling. Still I'd be on my feet. I would still be on my feet. I met a woman. She had a mouth like yours. She knew your life. She knew your devils and your deeds, and she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed.